Hi guys, welcome to Aquascaping on the Fly, Living Art Creations. I'm your host and content creator Anthony, and welcome to my version of a Fly Guy's guide to all things that are aquascaping. So if you haven't catched the first two videos in the sequence, this is going to be video 3. So we've already done a detailed description on video 2 about how I built the studio infrastructure. At the point we're at now, we're into the section where right now I've got exposed all of the plants that we're going to start dealing with. Now these are not the aquarium plants. These are the ones that are going to be for the riparian builds, terrariums, the house plants that we're going to grow out of the aquariums. So I've already got some existing tubs set up that I'm going to give you an update on. And then the video that you're going to be following this is how I set up this first tub right here, which was all cell plants that I picked up at Home Depot. All right, so what we have here is 3 different purchases I made. And you can tell the waffle with the pink. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 containers of that now. And then there is also the begonia, the prayer plant, and my first fern that I purchased. So in the video you're going to watch following this, it shows how I'll take one plant, divide it up, put it into the growth chambers, and just kind of let them go crazy. And it's a little bit hard to see right here, but you have more of the fern that are behind the begonia. And all the plants are doing amazingly well. I'm really surprised about that. This is my first attempt. Here is another version of the waffle plant, and I love the fact that it comes with different colors on it. So you've got this one, you've got pink on the outside. This side, it's the underside of the leaves. It's got more of a burgundy look. But look at how healthy these are. So specifically in the video you're going to watch, we deal with a plant that has a waxy leaf exterior with, it's another version of a green and white. This one is the pink one. Cannot remember the name of it, but you'll see it in the video. This is a leaf that has already started to sprout roots. So it's making a plant all by itself. Now, the new growth has been really encouraging. So these were all in the smallest containers when I purchased them. These were all in the 3.5-inch containers, and I made a purchase at Home Depot and at Walmart in their terrarium section. And I paid, the most I paid for one plant was $10, and that was for the fern right here. And I split this up, and I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I know there's another one somewhere. So I think I have 4 solid. I think I have one more in another growth container, to where I was really aggressive with the plant and broke it all up. The point here is that you're wanting to start your collection, and we're wanting the smallest investment possible. So I shop for the littlest containers, because I don't need I don't need a pot that's in like a 4 or 5-inch pot. I don't need something that large. I want the smallest one. I want to get them in, get them separated, cleaned, and prepped into their new environment. And once they're in here, I've been checking them. Usually every trip when I would come home back from a trip, I would check the plants, spray them down. What I just did yesterday is I actually set up some water in a 5-gallon bucket that already has the fertilizer mixed into it, a liquid fertilizer that's used in the aquarium hobby already for the aquarium plants. And so I'm using that on this because I saw in a video where they were showing the necessity for using the fertilizer. So what you're seeing right now is no fertilizer. This is 1 month growth, which again, just ecstatic about. So we're going to slide over. Hopefully not too much problems here. And look at the second container. Now, this is one where some of them were a little bit larger and I had to separate them out already. But look at this. Take a shot at that. Look how they just instinctively, this plant has sent out roots like crazy. This is something that you would never need more than one small little plant, because I took the one little plant, 1, 2, 3, 4 already pretty substantial size mother plants to cut from. There is the snake plant here. I was really aggressive with. So you can see right in here, this one just has one tiny little stalk. This one is another one. There's another one in the corner, another one here. There's also another little one here, here, and here on the end. Here's an example of what I wanted to show you. So this is one of the plants that I'm just talking about, the waxy plant that has the pink in it. This was the top of one of them that already started rooting, and so I pulled it out and potted it at the same time. And when you watch this video, you're gonna watch me talk about how I love the little clear ones, because we can see the roots as they develop. The aluminum plant here it's one of my favorites. I love it. But look, it's doing the same thing. It's sending out its roots, very healthy. There's one, where's that? There's one that I planted that has like a little collection of like 3 sprigs. Maybe it's in the next container. That it was like, okay, they might die, so I just put them all in one. Look at this. Here is another one of the waxies. And look how just naturally it's just coming out. So you could automatically, and look here, there is a root coming out of the top of this one. Is that going to become a plant? I don't know. And you can already see the new growth right here. It's already busting at the seams. I don't know if that means I should repot it already or not, but it's doing amazing. And I thought this would be a great staple because of its waxy appearance and the fact that hopefully it gets tall enough. I don't remember the logistics on each one of these and how tall they get. The snake plant I was really excited about, because I thought this would texturally be a really cool plant along with the prayer plant in the next container. So let's slide over to the next one. And this is a container that is that's tall as well. And you can see right here I'm doing a science experiment on growing moss on the driftwood, and I'm hoping to be able to use that in a separate build that's in my head already. Here is a plant that we potted yesterday. This is the spotted freckled something, and it already looks like it's just loving it. So these were yesterday. Here's the ones you're going to see on the video. They're right here. This is part of the collection that they are in. But here is also some of the plants from the potting last month. Look at this. They're already getting super tall. This one, when I tell you about this one, okay, this thing was the tiniest little thing, and it had 2 plants in it. It's still in its original 2-inch pot. It's just in this one so I can pick it up easier, but look at that. It has both colorings in it. It's vining beautifully. I love that. So I hope that continues on. And let's see, I think it's for this one. Let's go to the last container here where you're really going to be able to see what it is that we have for this one. Now, Walmart was out of my regular bins that are the tall ones, so I had to get one like this. I didn't want to because I know I'm going to need the height, but for right now it's okay. So here's the plants that we worked on that you're going to see in the video now. This is a day later. They're looking really good. And we kind of like separate them out. So we have two different ferns. So this was one fern, it became two plants. Now remember, these are all one plant. One plant into four. Here is one that whatever. Here's one that was the roots of the, oh my God, I can't even speak today. This one is the leaf that broke off of a plant that we already planted last month. I put it in a pot and you can see it is growing. So that's how easy this can be. I wanted to really look particular today, especially like at these. This is a new plant that I've never even seen before. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see it's looking good today. So we were able to take every plant, and in the ferns I got 2 because I didn't want to be severe. This is a fern that's in from the other plant on the other side. This is also one that I found in nature in a drainage ditch. And so I'm trying to grow it out and see what it turns into. Oh, here's the pot we were just talking about. Here's the one that was kind of like, okay, they're not going to grow. But look, I just put a little hodgepodge in here. It's a fern that I didn't think would live and a piece of begonia that fell off. Well, now you have seen the begonias and how great they've taken off. Hopefully that will do the same. In yesterday's video, I debated about cutting this one because it was only one leaf. So today it's still looking nice. So we haven't killed anything yet. And here is the second fern that I bought from yesterday. And it made 2 pots. This is a leftover from the other one. And you can see how I was way more aggressive. I think I got at least 5 ferns out of the other one. Here is an ivy that was in a purchase I made last month. It's in its original 2-inch pot and it's thriving like crazy. And you can see it's already sending out its roots. It's ready to go in a terrarium right now. This thing has already got at least 3 shoots ready. So that's really exciting. It's just going to have to hold on for a while because Anthony's not ready. And then here is one of the smallest varieties. I did do an Amazon purchase where it was a starter pack. You did not get to choose the plants, and unfortunately I didn't get anything different other than one plant. This is from a 2-inch pot, and let me find. All right, here's your reference point. Now, if this doesn't tell you where your value is at, this is a $4 pot versus what I got online. So the difference is huge as far as the growth. Not knocking them, I'm just saying. And I think that gets you up to date on what we potted. Also, we took a shot, and I have to get up here. So yes, you can see my Christmas cactus growing quite well. Here are the containers that I started with yesterday. So sorry about that. I'll bring them down so you can see a little close up. So here you can see I've got the fern that I put in just in the water. Here's the leaves that fell off of the plant, and I've got it's not even really showing you. And I've got so the grass that I'm testing, another grass that was growing by some water, and some leaves that fell off, and a fern that fell off. So this, of course, is my cheapest version. It's my Wendy's cup with some gravel and some water. Here we have a similar one where it's again some, I have to open this one up for you. Okay, that is an ivy I'm trying to root out. It's not successful so far. And I did order a water sprite through Amazon, and it's right there. And it came in 2 days ago. And I just put it in here just to see if it, what kind of growth we can get out of it. And the last one here is some grass that I found growing along a dried riverbed, and we're trying to see if it will successfully keep growing in water. Okay, so that's it for now. Give me a little second. The video will start. It may have kind of a cranky intro because I accidentally deleted the entrance. So that's why I'm shooting this for you. So here's your sneak peek. And now you get to see the rest of the video, which shows me dividing the plants and setting them up. You guys have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you later. Bye-bye. Back. This is where it's going to get messy. So you don't need to focus on me so much. It's what we're going to be doing in the sink area. All right, so I have some soil here because I am going to be repotting them. I just realized I may not have enough growth containers for the plants I have today. And this is the kind of tub that I'm putting them in. It's not the same size as the ones I currently have under here, but the Walmart I went to didn't have the ones that I always have. So we're having to modify. Here is the plant growth list right here. I'm just going to pull them out. And just in case, I never throw anything away. Okay, I want to get messy. This is where, when you are planning a kitchen remodel and you're dreaming of having your fantastic aquascaping studio inside your kitchen, like I'm having to do, a sink that has a strainer like this is a lifesaver because it catches everything. So nothing goes down the drain that you don't want to go down the drain. And you can do all of your prep from right here. And if you kind of like try and manage it size-wise, you should be okay. So, I mean, good or bad, since we do everything in our kitchen here, since we're not like, you know, some studios they're in the basement and they have a separate sink and all that, I'm constantly having to clean up after myself. But that's okay because I generally am a very neat person anyway, and it gives me a reason to clean. Okay, so I'm putting down just a layer here because this is where I'm going to put the soil that I'm not going to reuse. And no, I don't throw this away either. I actually put it out in front of I'm in a condo here. I put it out in front of the condo around the tree that's in front of my unit, just so I'll have some space there. Okay, so here is the scanner port. And I want to say, I believe this proven winner is, and there's also one other brand that sells to like Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart. This same brand is at both, as well as at all three locations. Just an FYI, like everybody else knows that if you go to Walmart, it's going to be cheaper. Home Depot is just a fraction higher than Walmart. But Home Depot, honestly, because it is a has a legit garden area, their products are some really three for $12. And so I had to pick out three. Well, I wanted four, so I had to find two other plants. I didn't initially want this because I think it might be kind of like boring in a lot of the plants, but I went with this one with the tiny leaves that's very variegated. And I thought, okay, that I like. That'll give me some color that I'm I bought previously at Home Depot that I had to pay $10 for to get one thing of moss. So now when I see something like this, I just immediately go for it. Okay, here's one that I hadn't seen yet. And I thought, oh, I am loving the colors and the wiggly lines. This is a great textural plant. Will this grow in a terrarium? I don't know, but we are going to find out. This was my last one I picked up, and I walked by it because I thought this was branches that they just stuck in the pot. I did not realize this was a runner or ivy-like plant that will take off like this. And it says speckled, so here's the name. Wait a minute. Freckled Splash Hoya. I searched through all the plants there. There were two of them that had the majority of the speckles on them. And that's what I wanted. Because some of them just had like one on a leaf and it kind of looked like at first, the reason why I walked by them, I thought, oh, it's got some kind of spot on it. You know, I don't want something like that and, you know, going into my terrariums or my house. Well, no, it's supposed to look like that and it looks amazing. Yay! Okay, that answers our questions. We are good to go. Houston, we are go. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, let's shake them up, baby. Okay, wait a minute. Let's make sure you can see what I'm doing over here now. Come on. Yes. All right. You would think this is being cruel, but honestly, I had really good success with my other ones that I did this with. I just squeezed the package around it to get it kind of loose. Oh, and by the way, my first job ever in high school was working in a greenhouse. So I have always grown plants. But since I promised in my intro to my YouTube channel I could tell stories. So this was in, if you guys can imagine, in the United States, in western Oklahoma, where the soil is sand. Nothing grows. You have to bring in so many supplements to get anything to grow. And if you'll know, in our history, Oklahoma was the greatest impacted state, or one of them, for the sandstorms and the droughts that they had after the Depression, because all the farmland had just been ruined. Okay, so see right now, the roots are all the way down. It looks really, really healthy. We're just gonna like help it come out. Anyway, so it's in the summertime. I had just learned to drive. I wasn't even 16 yet, but I was driving in small towns. I grew up I had a small town. When my parents left Fort Worth, which I'm originally a Texan, for Oklahoma, everyone started driving at 14. It was just kind of a necessity because, you know, everyone knew, most everyone had, you know, like farms and land. All right, so now I'm shaking it. And so my first job was working in a greenhouse in the summer. You can imagine how hot it was. Oh my God, it was awful. It was beastly. Well, one day, maybe I'd been working there not even a month yet, and they had a florist shop attached to it. So they grew a lot of the stuff that they used in the floral shop.
one of the girls was sick and they had like a funeral to do that day. Okay, so now I'm just literally trying to tease as much dirt out of here without shocking the plant. And so they recruited me to go in. And the first thing I ever had to design was a funeral spray for a casket. And I mean, I took to it like a frog in water, I guess, because I had some talent that I never knew existed. That was the last day I ever had to work in the greenhouse. I started working in the floral shop after that. So I got really used to dealing with fresh flowers and growing and putting, sort of at the time it was getting popular where you put like dried things in with your house plants to dress them up a little bit. So that was kind of like being a thing. Okay, so I've had a little leaf that comes off. Trust me, I'm not going to throw it away. Okay, so now I pretty much have everything that I want out of there. It's time for this plant to take a bath. I'm hoping you can still hear me over the running water. Who do I want to touch next? Let's do the vines. Okay, so I shouldn't have taken that tag off because I will reuse this pot. Okay, so thank goodness I'm doing a video so I won't get confused. We're going to put that plant there. It's the first one in line. We'll do this one next. No, this one's super dry. Now, why am I taking the soil out? Because this came from a grower, and you know they use pesticides. You don't necessarily want to introduce these to your home and to any type of a water situation where you're going to have any live animals in it, like fish or a paludarium that's going to have frogs or turtles or something, because those can leach their way into your substrate of that particular chamber. So what we're doing is we're getting as much of the dirt off so we can wash it and we can soak it. Any pests that might be, oh, this one just came across the part super easy. So now you can see we automatically have 2 plants. I don't think there's another way to get another one. No. I am supposing I could, if I were dangerous, could cut this and grow some that way, but I don't know if I want to do that. Alright, so let's do the sweet and sour pepermonia. So I have to say the roots are all looking amazing. They're so healthy. I think that's all I'm going to need. So now when you're talking about, let's discuss, since we're sitting here and we're just taking plants apart, part of the big part for my channel is that, you know, we talk about the budget for aquascaping and it's quite daunting. I mean, I was in shock. I fell in love with the channel immediately, the hobby immediately, and different videos that I was watching. And I seriously, okay, 2 leaves came out. I think I can get those to sprout. I started adding up what people were spending. Now, yes, a lot of big YouTube channels, they have sponsors. And so they're getting access to products that they don't have to buy, which is amazing. But when you're like me and you're starting out and you're brand new and you see that when you add up the prices of what they pay for, if they had to pay for something, it's the cheapest one I've ever seen is $700. And that's full range. You know, that's your vessel, your lighting, your hardscape, your substrate, the plants that are going in it, the fish, everything. I mean, it's daunting. And I put a hard pass on doing anything with the hobby at first because I thought, I don't have that kind of money. There's no way. Okay, here we go again, just so you guys can see. Look how great the roots are. So I took several days and I was contemplating this, and I really felt like I really needed to do the build and I really needed to document it. And when I say I became obsessed with it, I really did. And I thought, I offer a unique perspective. I'm a newbie that does not have any experience. I want to be able to create beautiful works of art, in my opinion, but I want to do it on a budget. So I have always, even starting when I was in high school, my parents taught me, we never threw anything away, because you live on a farm, you live out in the country, and the town I grew up in, once we moved to Oklahoma, was only a town of 3,000 people. You know, so you didn't waste your resources, you used everything. And that was my mindset. So with this hobby, I kept thinking, okay, I have built ponds, and I'm just giving you an example. I was a member of a water garden society in Oklahoma, and when I went to design my first pond, I did 2 ponds together. And I went down to what we all call the Red River, because if you know, Oklahoma and Texas share a border, that's the Red River. And I had a Jeep at the time, and I just took my Jeep down there, found rocks that I liked, that's native, they're red, brought them back, put them in my pond as the decoration of my pond, went on road trips, found all my aquatic plants in other water sources, and wrote, like, especially like I was in a trip to Shreveport, because my family loves to gamble, and we would go to Shreveport all the time, and I would just pull over when there's a body of water along the highway and get out there and pick up water hyacinth or reed grass, or, you know, whatever, and put it in a plastic bag. So I was doing this years ago, and I thought, why don't I just do what I've always done? I'm comfortable doing it, I had success doing it, and I feel better for the fact that I'm not looking at something and buying it and trying to get inspired. I'm getting inspired because I see something in nature that speaks to me, and that's what I am wanting to do with the hobby, is to really, when I see something in nature and I'm compelled to take it, it usually tells me what to do with it immediately. And it's going to sound so weird, because the Trinity tank, which is the first set I want to do, that's exactly what happened to me the first time I went out looking for hardscape. I found a piece of driftwood in a campfire that had been partially burned, and I saw it and immediately had a connection to it. It, to me, looked like a sea turtle. I know it's going to sound really, really strange, but it did. It looked like a sea turtle. And as a flight attendant, I had a trip once where I was going to Barbados, and it was a night flight. Well, we were really delayed, and we didn't get in until we didn't land until after 11 p.m. Well, our hotel is on the beach, and I really wanted to go to the beach. And so by the time we got to the hotel and got settled in and I got changed, I went down to the beach. It was like almost 1 a.m. I'm sitting out there, there's no moon, so it's pitch black, and I'm just relaxing, and I feel something like a crab that's touching my foot. And so I thought, oh, I must be in the middle of a crab's ability to find food or something. I turn on my cell phone. No, I was surrounded by hundreds of baby sea turtles. What was happening is, since there was no moon, the hotel lights were so bright they were going towards the hotel. And I jumped up, I ran into the lobby and told them what was going on. They said, okay, then we get someone out there. And a couple of guys finally showed up from the government, and I had already was out there with my cell phone shining the light. They told me to shine the light on the sand when I went to the desk, and then walk towards the water, and the turtles would automatically follow me. So I was doing that for about an hour, and I was having a blast. I was like, oh my God, I'm helping these turtles, an animal that could live to be 100 years old. I'm here when it was, born, and I'm helping it make its way. And I was like, oh God, it was such an emotional experience for me. Well, when the guys show up to go collect the turtles that were going the wrong way, they just got a bucket and just picked them up, put them in the bucket, and then took them at the water and let them out at the water's edge. And I was like, oh, we can touch them? That changed my whole trajectory at that point, because then I had to touch them, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, and helping them get into the water. So when I saw the driftwood burned that looked like a turtle, it took me back to a really special place. So, and I don't think things are a coincidence. I think I was meant to find that one piece because it's the only thing I found that day. I found one piece of wood that looked like a turtle. So in the middle tank that's going to be set up on the shelf I just showed you, that is where the tank is going to go, and it's going to be called Turtle in Motion. Now, if you can hear this, I'm being very aggressive with this fern. I am wanting to pull this thing apart because I want 2 plants out of this. When I did this before, I was even more aggressive, and I'm not going to do this much because they will grow, but it will stunt them. Okay, so now we got them soaking. And so hopefully this is the part where, let me change gloves, it soaks. Hopefully any bugs that are on it will come off of it. Let me turn the camera here so you can see how I've just got them in the water. Okay, so now here's my soil that I'm not using. I just managed to get some on the floor, and I was trying to be so careful. Okay, so now, let me change gloves. Those are trash. And I can focus on the washing. So the washing just hopefully gets everything off. And then once I shake them up a little bit, I can prepare for the number. I think I'm going to have enough cups because I'm not being severe with these. I basically, I think like the one fern, the woody tassel fern, she's just in 2 parts. So that wasn't that extreme. The, what was this called? Glacier Rain. Okay, does not remind me of a glacier. Oh, this one I have not separated yet. Okay, so I hope you can see this. This one just says, ooh, pull me apart. Does have root and tap. Yes. Can I get, look at this one right here. Ooh, pull me apart. Like my sound effects. And we know for sure there's another one. And here is another one. So this is an excellent plant to start with because look what we just turned that into. Oh, and I was going to tell you also, I didn't think I was going to have the ability to find some really cool terrarium plants, so I did buy some online through Amazon. And I was quite disappointed because I only got one that I didn't have. They sent, it was like their choice, one of those things where it's like a selection, a starter plant selection. And they basically sent me everything that I already had that I'm going to show you at the end of the video. But so I didn't really get anything out of it. And the containers they came in are 2-inch containers. The 2-inch containers are so tiny they're not worth it compared to what you can get when you look at the plant on your own in Walmart or Home Depot, or even if you love Lowe's and you want to shop at Lowe's. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to spend more money at Lowe's for the same thing. And you can get some things on sale at Lowe's. I've only been able to do it one time. I know there's a website out there I saw where this lady, she goes and shops and she basically hits them constantly to find something that's on sale. I don't have that much time because, you know, with having a flight schedule, there's not a whole lot of time for that. Okay, so let me see. I need, how many of those do I have? I love the clear ones for the small plants because I can see the root system. So this one needs 3. This one needs 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. There's 1. This one is a bigger plant, so I'm going to have to plant it in the Dixie cup. Oh, how about this one? This one's a small one. I think we said, what, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, definitely. That's almost 6. Dare I? Oh, they're so close together, I'm not sure. 5. Let's go with 5. I don't want to tear anything up. That's exactly what I have. All right. And then our 2 moss. I prefer to have the moss in the small ones because they don't have much room. The moss is 2, and this one is 2. Okay. I have 1 cup left. So I'm going to have to put that on my list. All right. So now I'm just going to give them a little agitation. So if you guys are starting out and you don't want to do the growth chambers like I'm talking about, you know what also works really well? Go to Wendy's, get you a drink, bring it home, clean it out, keep the lid. Wendy's cups are clear, their lids are clear. You can put those under a light source and have a growth chamber that becomes humid because all you do is spray some water in there. And I'll show you, I've got some of those. But I have used all my Wendy's cups. I don't have any Wendy's cups left. But I use the Wendy's cups when I'm out and I find something that I don't know what it is and I just want to see if it'll root, and I'll stick it in a Wendy's cup. That's how I know that these little leaves should root on their own and become plants. Because I did it with another version of this plant. I just stuck it in there, and within a few days it started rooting. The nice thing is, some of the plants, especially the ones that have like a stem, when you put them in a humid environment, they'll automatically start rooting along there because it just kicks something in with the plant. All right, I need to get some gravel, and by that means I need to go outside. What am I going to carry it in? No. No, I could do it in a plastic bag. Double bag it. Okay, so the gravel I bought at Home Depot, the reason why it's a lot less expensive, it's not rinsed. Now, of course, I don't care about it being rinsed. It's not going in an aquarium. It's going to go in a pot with dirt on it anyway, so I'm okay with that. So let me get some gravel, and we will start potting. Okay. I forgot I found this picture in the trash, and it will be perfect. So this is the first time I get to see. Ooh, I can't touch the camera with my messy hands. This is the first time I get to see the actual color of the gravel. You didn't really have a choice. It was like either white or this. I chose this because some of the rocks that I have found out in nature have a beigey brownish tint to them, and I think this will go well with that. Because I'm thinking like ahead. I bought 5 pounds of it. So this will eventually be the gravel that we will put in the first tanks that we build as the cover, because I don't want to, I'm going to use aqua soil, but I don't want it to be the top layer. I want it to look more, natural. And I know a lot of people just use the aqua soil, but I prefer to kind of just have an instinct about this is how I want to do it. Now, this is super, super easy. So I don't care if you've never grown anything before. This is so easy. I just get, oh, I forgot. There's that one leaf. So you guys that are watching the video, you will want to pay attention. Did I actually get these little leaves to grow that we're, talking about here? And how are they progressing? That's the fun part about this, because it's kind of like experimenting, and so what we're doing is we're taking a plant that we paid $4 for, and is this something that we can, I think this will work. Well, hot darn, look at that. No, not as effective as it could be. So you just need a little in there, just so you are making sure the roots are not sitting in water. Even if I were potting something that I wanted to grow in the aquarium, like a water plant, I would still put something down so it's not just sitting in the water. And then the water would be fertilized that I'm putting it in. So, I have a spray bottle somewhere around here, and I found in the trash a 5-gallon water bottle. It just didn't have a lid on it. And so the nice thing about living in a complex where, nobody has space, like me. Nobody has space for anything. So people just toss stuff. So I picked up that 5-gallon bucket, washed it, put water in it before I left on my last trip, put dechlorinator in it, and put fertilizer in it. So it's ready now to be used to spray the plants that I've got in my growth chambers, because I hadn't been using any type of fertilizer on them. And I finally thought I need to be fertilizing them to see what really could happen with them. Okay, so there's the first set. I'm gonna need more rock. I like this rock. What's kind of nice is it has a nice, it's wet right now, it has a nice shine to it, but you can tell by the bucket that it is dirty. What up? Have plenty. Okay. Probably not supposed to show this on TV, but. Some good iced tea. Okay. Who wants to come out? Alright, I'm going to need to dry them off a little bit, so we'll pick up the crappiest version of my towels. So what I do in my remodeling is I use towels for everything, so I never throw towels away. Even if they got tears in them or stuff like that, I always keep them, because you never know when you're going to need something. And especially since we're working in the kitchen, We don't want to ruin the countertop because it is just for mica, so it's not a permanent solution. It was a budget-friendly solution. Oh, and by the way, because we're in the kitchen, if anyone's interested, I did just do this kitchen, and I did it on an extreme budget. You guys should not be surprised about that. And so if someone wants to put a comment in the section about, hey, where'd you get your cabinets at? These are US cabinets, meaning they're made in the United States, and they were cheaper than what you can buy at Home Depot, at Lowe's, or any discount store. Because when I do my research, I'm very, very, very thorough about it. I don't mess around. I make sure I'm getting the very best price for what I want, because I'm always looking for quality, and these are solid wood. Now, yes, I had to put them together, but that was not near as hard as I thought it was going to be. Normally in the past, with all my kitchen remodels, I've just done, if I've ordered cabinets, they've already been put together. Okay. All I'm doing is stirring up the soil that's getting collected, because I want to be able to set this on a nice little level. Wash everybody off. Make sure that I did not. All right, so the ones that are left over, there's a special place for them. All right, guys, don't clog up the drain. All right. Excellent. A little water in there. A little more. Now, am I worried about I'm not using dechlorinated water? No, houseplants are used to being watered with regular tap water. All right, so we're going to show off everything so you can see exactly what we've got going on. So I'm just rinsing off anything that may be back on there. I seriously think I probably could have got another one out of that one. I'm not going to push it. Did I just get 3? No, I thought I got more out of that. Ah, there's one. I thought I had 5. Oh, they're 5 really healthy ones. I hope these leaves on this stay crinkled. I hope you guys can see this. You can't, just have to edit out this part. Okay. There's one. Oh, can you guys see this? Here's the roots coming out for this one. So literally that means this one is a plant and this one's also a plant. Cool. Now, yes, I know people that don't even do this. I know people that just stick their plants straight on in there. But we're talking about an entire ecosystem that's going to be part of our little install. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. Plus, this gives me a hands-on experience with each one of the plants. And so I really know what it looks like when we're starting with. So it's really easy to determine who's growing well, who's not growing well. Do we need to make any changes? pretty much even the ones that say low light, they're going to go in the same chamber as everybody else. So it's going to end up being highlight. And let's just hope that, you know, we don't suffer any shock because of it. So yeah, there'll be like I was surprised. The last set I did, everybody thrived. I was really impressed, except one plant that was listed in the wrong category. I thought it was a terrarium plant. It ended up being a desert succulent. How I missed that, I don't know. And it died in 2 days. And the funny thing was, when I was at Home Depot getting these plants, I saw another one. I thought, oh, should I try again? I thought, nope, walk away, Anthony, just walk away. So for us, this really is a great way, because one of the things I was thinking out that's a perk, one of the things I love about this hobby is if you enjoy nature and you like going out in nature, you're going to love your foraging skills that develop when you're out in nature, because what it does is it forces you to slow down on your walk and to look at everything small. You're looking at the big picture and you're focused on small items. And to me, I have had more joy and I have found more interesting things because of that approach. And I am just loving the walks that I go on. Even if I don't, now yes, my goal is always to find something, but even if I don't find something, I still have fun out in nature. And usually I'll interact with people that are wondering what I'm doing, because sometimes they'll see me carrying, I carry a bag with me that goes over my shoulder, and it has like little supplies in it I need. Like it's got baggies and a knife and a spoon and a couple of forks, and that way I can gently dig something up if I find something growing alongside a bank or something. And so, but I love it. It's really, really fun to be out in nature and to just kind of be in your own little world, you know. All right, you guys. Not that, ooh, is that a root? Ooh. All right, we can try you separately again. So on this one, I'm thinking, because look, it's like a rhizome. I guarantee you I could probably cut it and that would grow, but I don't want to mess the plant up because I really want to have some good ferns that can grow out. Because for me, I was thinking of doing terrariums as gifts. So like finding, you know, small containers and being able to build them and then give them as gifts. And I thought that's like a really inexpensive gift, but it's very personal. And a terrarium is really easy for people because they don't have to open it, they don't have to do anything to it. They can just enjoy it. Okay, I'm convinced now I could cut those off. But no. It's going to go with 2. Sometimes less is more. So if you're wondering, when I'm out looking for things, part of my best luck comes from storm drains, because a storm drain rushes a lot of material to the drain, it gets clogged up, and it stays there until eternity. I have found some of my wood supplies there. You'll get random rocks that'll wash up, and so I've been collecting rocks from different places, and ironically I've been finding some rocks that actually can match each other, and that I've been really excited about. I've been excited about the quality of the rocks I've been finding. And if it's not like a storm drain, literally dumpsters around complexes, corporate dumpsters and corporate complexes. People throw things away, or if you know someone who does landscaping, that should be your new best friend, because they're always having debris. They're always cutting down trees or trimming, and should have access to all the kind of supplies that we're looking for. Even rocks, because a lot of people just don't want something in their landscape, or they want a really, pristine landscape, they don't want anything else in it, and so there's lots of stuff like that to choose from. So I encourage you just to maybe do what I did in the very, very beginning, as I went to my trail systems first and was finding what I could along the trails. And that's where I was finding some rotten limbs and things like you saw on the wall there. So that was encouraging. See, we found the leaf. It's okay. Get back in there. And then, like, if I'm literally not like a highway, but like a divided highway, a lot of times you'll find rocks right along the curb that's like fallen out, or anytime you see road construction, you're always going to see a pile somewhere. Is their debris pile that they're getting rid of. They're more than happy to let you take whatever you want, because it just means something less for them to throw away. And most people are more pro recycling than a lot of people think. So I try to pick up anything that I think I can use, I pick up. And then when I bring something in, everything is boiled. It's boiled for 20 minutes. So I'm not just bringing raw items into the house. I'm being very thoughtful about it and trying to make sure it all gets clean. And then I let all the wood dry out completely. Now in the case of my turtle in motion piece of wood, it's been burned, and I was afraid what that would do to an aquarium. So I cleaned it and then I sealed it with super glue, because we know super glue is safe in tanks, and I don't want anything to leach off that will kill my fish or plants, because I don't know if there was an accelerant used to burn that wood in the beginning, and I'm not taking any chances. So that's how I prepped. Oh, there's another leaf. That is the beauty behind this strainer. Okay. As you can see, nothing gets tossed. There's potential life in everything I'm picking up. So back to the remodeling, if you're doing your kitchen, this size sink is perfect. It's deep. When something is too big and I can't boil it, I can fill this sink up with scalding hot water and let it soak here for an hour. The good thing about soaking your wood is sometimes you can pull the bark off. And when you pull the bark off, you know what it starts to look like? It starts to look like all the expensive stuff that comes out of Taiwan or Vietnam or places like that, the really exotic stuff looks like roots, but it's actually limbs that have just been stripped of everything because it's been pulled off of it. So when you're doing and you're looking, like I have been looking forever for something that I could put in as a mount for some Java fern in the middle of a plant. And I was looking for something that comes out like everybody uses. It has spikes that grow up. And I couldn't find anything until I went to this apartment complex that had a drainage ditch. And the landscapers have been throwing things into the drainage ditch. Now this drainage ditch was big enough to drive a car down. So it was big. And so when I got down in there, I lucked out. I'm trying to see if I have it here. This, which you probably won't be able to see because there's no lighting in the hallway there. That I found in there. And then I have found some other really cool stuff. Okay, we are ready now to put soil. I have no scooper. So it looks like, okay, your roots are too long to go into the small ones. So let's prioritize. You guys can. There's one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. You're too big. Okay. The ferns will go in to the soil. You will not. You come over there. Alright, this root's going to get messy. Or messier. Alright, can you guys still see? Try to do this. I can just shake these out. I'm just using regular bargain organic soil that I got at Walmart. So I don't have like a special favorite that I use. I used to have a little thing. I don't know where it went. Last time I did this, I had a little tool, but I can't remember what I used. This will work. I might have put too much rock in there, but of course this doesn't have to be a lot. This is the first stage of growth. This is not our end game for this plant. Okay. Yep, you guys are the same. So I'm just gonna gently put its roots in. There you go. I like it to be a little more stable. I don't like it moving that much. Let's do this. Put a little more dirt in there. I don't have to worry about water getting in there because it's going to grow basically, I'm going to be spraying them. Oh, that's better. Going to be spraying them, so they're going to get misted and they're going to love it. Okay, so my hands are dirty. And that, my friends, is how you do it. Just stick it on in there. Now you see, we don't have a whole lot of room out of this one for growth. It's okay because the fern, we can just shove it down further down in there. It's not going to mind it. But the next stage it goes to, I need to get another bin that's the one that I intended these to be. They just didn't have it at Walmart, they were out. And I needed to get these planted. So you guys probably, if you have any friends that are in the airline industry, you may know that most of us don't live in the city that we work out of. So for me, this is where I am between trips, and well, because all the remodeling I have had to do. All right, that looks amazing. Now you can see from the side there, you can see the rocks, everything in there. So as soon as the new root shoots start coming down, we'll be able to see it right away. So for me, I haven't been home in months because of this. So, and the killer part is that I live up in the Appalachian Mountains, and I have a room that would be perfect for this that just sits empty. The people that built my house, it was built in 1960, and it was just one couple. They lived there their entire life, and they actually died there. And I've had the house for about 4 years now. I've been remodeling it. It was all original ranch, but they had something that was quite unusual. Not unusual for the South. In the South, everyone has, what we call spring porches. Again, you're going to be able to see all the way around on that one. So they had this massive screen porch on the back of the house. So the house is on a fall away lot, and it's on the corner, and it's not quite an acre. And the fall away lot, so the sun porch is almost as long as the house is. It's huge. When I first saw it, I was like, my God, it's like a bowling alley. And it's just screened in. So, I mean, normally you'd have a 3-season room, but this is original to the build. It was never been remodeled. Like most of my neighbors that had one, they turned theirs into like another bedroom. Well, I don't need another bedroom. I've got 3 bedrooms and the house is already big, so I don't need another bedroom. But I do need a hobby room like this that I could do some stuff in. But I'm not there enough to be able to put tanks in. I can do terrariums all day long, but not tanks. What did I see next? These dudes. So I have the perfect room, but it's in another state. So at some point, I'm hoping that I'll be able to do some projects there. And I have a field trip video that I want to do that was when I go scavenging hunting. I want you guys to see what's happening, so you can kind of get an idea. Oh, that's how he does it. That's how he's finding all this stuff. Okay, yeah. But it is a lot harder than I thought before to do videos. Oh my gosh, it's so time consuming. Okay, here's the one that I thought, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm gonna keep it intact. Thought might be a candidate to grow on its own. I mean, because look at that. The roots are here and there. Oh, I swear, if I would just bite the bullet and cut that, I'm sure it would grow. Oh, should I do it? How much root would it have left? The bottom plant would have a lot of root left. The top part would not. How many more do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna hold you to the side, just in case. Oh, like butter. That is amazing. This one is doing the same thing. This bottom one has a root, and this stem part here has a root. Oh, it's giving me confusion. I know this plant's going to want to send out roots right away because its namesake that's already in the growth chamber is doing phenomenal in there. The one that I have in there actually has pink in it, and it's just, oh, it's beautiful. And you know, I know you're not supposed to, like, I watch other websites. That's how I learned my tutorial. But I watch a lot of websites. And like, you put them in there and you leave them alone. You don't touch them. Oh gosh, every time I come in from a trip, I have to open my tubs, talk to all my babies, and see how they're doing. So, all right, we're gonna do these. I'm still holding out for you. And even when I grew plants before, I used to talk to them and play music. Oh, and it's an interesting thing. When I was in high school, I did my science project on the effects of water, sun, fertilizer on houseplants. And it was really cool. I won first prize because I took the exact same species with, without, and then one series that had everything to show the difference. And it was a really cool experiment, but super easy because I had worked at the greenhouse, so I knew how to do everything. So it's kind of like cheating. It was an easy A, but I didn't care. Okay, you little dudes. That is a cool looking plant. All right, so we just want to make sure that I'm getting all the roots. I don't want any of the roots to be sitting out. If I had more of the red cups, I should be using the red cups because they're a little bit deeper, but we're making do with what we have. Because, you know, like at my job, that's what you have to do. Something happens in the air, you got to make the best you can with what you've got available, whether it's emergency, a situation, or anything. I do get lots of questions about being a flight attendant. I love it. My degree is in healthcare management. I used to do grant writing for nonprofits, for the government. That was so stressful. So stressful. Being a flight attendant is, on most days, just pure joy. I like to work where I get to have interaction with my passengers, and I like to greet them and make sure everyone's having a really good time on the trip and make fun of them. The best part is, for me, you guys in the public that fly don't even have to try to be funny. The things you do in public are, to me, just hysterical. And it's usually always at the boarding section. It's like being at any state fair. And when I say when you go to the state fair, I'm sure everyone in the United States knows what I'm talking about. When you go to your local state fair, you see people that just don't come out on a daily basis. And so you see human behavior that you're like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? Yeah. So that's what the boarding process could be like for getting on an airline. You've got people that are watching other people, and they're like, people just want you to sit down as soon as possible so they can get to their seat, and not have to. I knew I had 2 there. I was wondering, I thought I had 5. That's the funniest thing. But when I'm doing service on a cart, I keep the people that I make fun of during the first part of the flight, I still make fun of them. I keep making fun of them. I mean, I love to give that little sass right back at them, and my passengers just eat it up. So I literally will say that for me, the aisle on a plane is my comedy stage. That's where I have the most fun. And I got in trouble all through school because I always talk too much. Every report card, talks too much. Well, I'm in a job right now where I am paid to talk. I get to entertain people. I get to hear their feedback. I feed off of the energy, which is usually really positive, off the plane. Now, granted, yes, there's lots of people that are flying for reasons that aren't fun and reasons that are sad, and I take care of those passengers too. You know, a lot of times people tell me things, they confide stories in me, and I take that as an honor that, you know, if they feel like they want to be able to unload, I'm there and I can listen. Okay. So now back to the debate. I have 2 containers left. Is that a sign that I should cut you because I got 2 little ones left? Or am I just looking for a sign? I don't know. Now, what I noticed in the store, these are really like wiggly leaves. So I'm hoping we don't have trouble with that. I think hopefully that's just the way they grow. I'm loving how these are turning out. I mean, I think that's incredible. When you look at the whole color scheme of everything available, it's nice to have a really light with a darker green with other specks of colors. This one's got the pink in it. And when you put them all together, I think it's going to make something that's going to be beautiful. Notice I'm skipping that one. Still haven't debated. Wait a minute. I miscounted. That takes 2. This is 5. I have 4. You are my little backup that's got nothing but stuff. Okay, you're going to get to see it right now. I'm going to pull it out. I have a container already that I put stuff in. Which one? Put it in 2 of them. Okay, as promised, here's my Wendy's cups. And you can see right now what I've got growing in there. I found some grass. I know that it's not supposed to grow in water. This one I found along a stream. And so let me take a look at it and see what it's doing. Okay, full disclosure, this is a plant that people pot in a landscape. It has not died. It is this natural color. That's exciting. You know what? I need to change your water out though. Okay, this has fertilizer water in it. So now we'll put this one back in there. This dude's not looking that great, but where's my grass I just had? What did I just do with it? There you go. It still smells like grass. All right. These, I think, I would normally pot something like that because look, it does have a root. I'm gonna let it get some more roots. I'll make sure it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna kind of keep these together. Here's another one. I don't have any hope that a piece of a fern is going to root, but this little group right here could. So what I'm going to do is place them right down at the gravel together so they can use each other for support, making sure they're getting water, getting out of the way of the grass. Come on. I should put the grass in last. Just made a mess. I just don't want anyone not exposed. I'll drop you down in there. I'll drop you guys down in there. They literally, I think, can do this just from humidity alone. So now we have another one. Go back out. So we need this. Okay. Oh, I might be putting too much dirt. Don't do that. Don't fall. Okay, so one thing I want to say about this is I'm glad I went ahead and got it, because the ones I've seen that's really common, that's overused, I think, in the market, are the big leafed ones. And that to me was just, I didn't want that. It's too boring. I want everything to be kind of unique. And I think this will be a nice little bunch. These have a really good root system. I look for those clear cups and taller ones. I just can't justify the increase in cost for something that's just going to be for, you know, a temporary growing solution. Now, do I throw these cups away? No, they go right back in. I wash them, put them back in the mix for another build. So literally in my head is always what my mom would say, you know, we don't throw anything away. Matter of fact, something that my mother and dad used to do was more my mom. The night before trash pickup, we would drive around, when we lived here in Texas before, we would drive around and see what people were putting on the curbs. That's what my mother would do. She was that person. And then bring it home. And then have my dad fix it or something. My dad always had a shop where basically he wanted to get away from the family. So he would go out there, he had a TV out there, but he had tons and tons of tools. He was always buying tools, but he was never, okay, if I can say this gently, he had great tools. He was not great at making stuff. It always was like, okay, that's ridiculous. That looks ridiculous. The style is ridiculous. The quality of your work is ridiculous. My dad also would take nails, and some people are going to find this unbelievable. He'd take nails that were used and take them out, straighten them out, and reuse them again. So when I tell you I came from a family where we reused everything, I mean literally everything. Okay, these are looking amazing. This one didn't get enough soil. Not to fear. So if you guys have gotten this far, please do like and subscribe. And what I'm more interested in really is comments. I really want this to be an open forum where we can discuss ideas and how to get around budget constraints, and when someone finds a good deal. Like, I didn't know how quickly I could post on YouTube about the sale that was on the plants at Home Depot. Because I know there's other websites out there that are literally out there on a daily basis. Oh my bejesus. There's the two. Almost forgot you. Because there's one lady I've seen, she goes to them and does like literally an hour and a half video of her going and shopping and explaining every plant that she's looking at. I'm like, wow, I did not have the patience for that. But she gets out there on a daily basis going to all the different places. So I'm pretty positive that her website has covered the sale. And it's not that I don't promote Lowe's for any other reason other than the fact it's the same product. Why pay more? As a matter of fact, where my home is, I don't even have access to Home Depot. I have to shop at Lowe's. So, and I love my little local Lowe's where I am, but they are more expensive. Okay, I think that's, I don't want to put too much dirt around it. I think that's all right. Just want to give it stability, especially since this is our climber. So really what I'm thinking about this one is that top tier of wood. Won't that be amazing if I can get that to grow up through there? And even though I fell in love with the sticks, the whole point is not just to have the sticks up there. It's not just there for decoration. It's there to serve multiple purposes. Which is kind of a theme that I have at work. You just don't have something on there just because of X, Y, or Z. It has to have multiple purposes because space is so limited on an aircraft. And so I think that's just part of my thought process. It affects my thought process now because of it. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is so pretty. I love the spots on that. I think it's amazing. This one is from the same plant, but you can look at the difference. It's a different side of it, hardly nearly any spots. So that one, spotted, good deal. Okay, so I have two, apparently when I miscounted, I have two of the smaller ones. You know what? You know what I'm doing. Where's it at? All right, here's where some of you are going to scream. Just there. Problem solved. There is now no eternal debate. Debate has ended. Really want to take that one off though. Yep. And guess what? We'll put you in there. So you guys will definitely want to watch the follow-up. How successful did these little leaves propagate? And if that's the case, if each leaf turns into a plant, then we went from, I think there's 3 leaves in there, and there's going to be 4 plants. Oh, there you go. Forgot about you. And even though this just has 1 leaf on it, I am confident it will grow. Am I overconfident? Maybe. Okay, so this one's got a nice little support system. Sorry, hiccup. A nice support system. That color sequence is amazing. So those won't fit in here. So the only thing left for me to do now, stick you guys in there, is to spray them down, put them in their chamber, and let's watch them. So, come on. Thanks for joining me on this long video. I haven't looked at the timer yet, but this is what it's like, and I enjoy this. I'm having so much fun doing this. I hope you're having fun too. I hope this spurs you on to run out to Home Depot and get the $4 sale. At least pick your top 3 plants and start from there, and think of it from a mindset. Hey, I can use this in a terrarium, a riparian. I can grow this on the top of an aquarium. So my what investment is 3-fold already, because it's very versatile. And if we can get plants to grow just off of those little leaves, you can put those in gift terrariums where you start out with something small and then it grows into something else. So it's me signing off. Thanks guys. Have a great evening. See you on the next video. Bye.